Hello guys, my name is Desmond and I welcome you to my lesson for today. Ladies and gentlemen, please do make sure that by the end of each and every lesson that I conduct, you learn something new. So guys, for today's lesson, we'll be continuing from what we've been doing for the past few days. I think we only had two lessons for this chapter, trigonometry. So remember guys, in case if you've got a question, you can just unmute your mic, just go straight to your question so that immediately I can respond to your question. And again, at all times, remember to mute your mic. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen, so that we don't get disturbed by the background noise. Someone unmuted their mic, and most importantly guys, in case if you unmute your mic and we get disturbed by the background noise, if I mute your mic from my side, you will never be able to comment until the end of this lesson. So it becomes a disadvantage if you unmute your mic, leave it unmuted, and if I happen to mute it from my side, you will never be able to participate. Sazi, okay, it's muted. So I hope everyone is good. So today's lesson, guys, we'll be looking at trigonometry. And most importantly, this lesson is being recorded. So in case if you experience some difficulties in networks, you can still catch up. So I'm going to post all our previous lessons on Tuesday so that all of you guys can catch up. So obviously, based on our previous lessons, just so that we do a bit of a revision or just a recap, just as an indication, are you guys able to see on my whiteboard? All you need to do is just to unmute your mic and indicate if all is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. So guys, I'm just going to quickly explain to you what is happening over there, and then from there, as soon as I'm done, we'll do just a few examples before we start with the lesson for today. So remember guys, we said in trigonometry we study triangle. So a trigonometry is a study of sides and angles. So what we said, this is a side, guys. This is a side. This is a side. So that means a triangle has got three sides. This is a summary of what we discussed on our previous lesson. Again, we've got 1, 2, 3 angles. So that means again a triangle has got 3 angles. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen. So in triangle, we study the sides and the angles. So a triangle has got 3 sides, 3 angles. Again, we've got just a triangle, and again, we've got a right angled triangle. So let me just show you the difference between the two. So let me just unmute Sazi. It's unfortunate. It's Lucia. Lucia, I'm going to manually mute you from my side.
I'm in class.
Lucia, can you mute your mic?
I can't. I'm trying. Sorry, it's a class in. I'm trying.
There must be a button from your side where you can click on mute. Okay, it's fine. Okay. The other thing, guys, remember, don't click on a button which says share screen. If you click on that button, we'll be able to see whatever that you're doing on your screen. It shares everything. Also, your personal information will be shared, so everyone will be able to see. So just make sure that you just join the class and you don't share your screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was saying we've got two types of triangles. So let's say this is a triangle where we can have, let's say, 50 degrees, 70 degrees. What will be that angle, guys? So it should be 180 minus 50 and 70. What is that angle? So this is 120. What is it? Is it also going to be 70?
60
Can
degrees,
someone?
sir.
What is it?
60 degrees.
60 degrees. 60 degrees. Okay. So this is a triangle. So let me just say this is a triangle. I know some of you know the type of this triangle. And again, we've got a right angled triangle. Which is that angle that has a 90 degree. So between these two angles, we are focusing on that type of an angle that has a 90 degree angle, which means this is 90 degree, then two of these angles may be two different angles. So that means this is the type of a triangle that we are focusing on. So guys, before I go deep, I just want to make sure if everything is clear on everyone's side. Did you guys understand what I've explained up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So remember, guys, we said in a right angled triangle. So let me just redraw again a right angled triangle. Someone please mute your mic. So this is a right angled triangle. So remember, we said we might have an angle over there. And this is triangle A, B, and C. So let me say maybe small letter C, small letter B, small letter A. So we said on this type of a triangle, how many sides do we have and what are the names of those sides?
Sides, mistake.
Sides.
Okay, so we said we've got 3 sides, and those sides are called, we've got, what is it? We've got opposite, we've got adjacent,
Hypotenuse.
hypotenuse, 100%. So remember to mute your mic, guys. Who's Onka, someone? Onka, make sure to mute your mic. So we've got 3 sides, which is opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Between A, B, and C, which one is opposite?
C.
C.
No. It's A. A, mistake.
Okay, so remember, we said opposite. It's that side which is opposite to the angle. And we said adjacent is the side which is closer to the angle, which is that side. And we said hypotenuse is that side which is opposite 90-degree angle. So someone needs to be muted. It's Onka. I'm going to mute Onka from my side. Mute. Guys, just make sure that you've got your mics muted. If I mute it from my side, you won't be able to communicate. So now that we know B is our hypotenuse, then this side, which is C, is our adjacent, and that side, which is our A, is our opposite. So this is opposite, this is hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. So this is what I wanted you guys to remember. So I'm just going to quickly remove all of this, and then from there, we'll just do examples for today's lesson. So let's say we've got something similar to that. So as I draw, you can still draw on your textbook. So let's say this side is 4 centimeter. We've got B, we've got C. The angle there is 50 degrees. And the question says, calculate BC, AC, and angle C. So I'm just going to quickly explain to you how you deal with this type of problems. Remember, guys, this is just an introduction. This is grade 9 and 10 stuff. So everything is going to develop up to we get to that point where you prove identities, where you simplify trig ratios. It's going to get deeper, guys. So you just have to make sure that you don't miss any of my trigonometry lessons. Attend all of those lessons and make sure that you fully understand. In case if you miss a lesson, make sure to catch up. So let's say you're given that type of a triangle. This is how you interpret it, guys. Ask yourself, what is this? What are you seeing there? So I'm seeing a triangle. Why am I saying this is a triangle? It's because it has 3 sides. Okay, now that I know I've got 1, 2, 3 sides, then what type of a triangle is this? This is a right-angled triangle. Why am I saying it's a right-angled triangle? It's because it has that 90-degree over there. So that makes it a right-angled triangle. So now that I know that is a right-angled triangle, what does it mean? It means you can use a sine, adjacent, sine, cos, and tan. You can use these ratios to either find the angles or the sides. So now that I know I can use these tools to find or answer the questions, what questions am I given? They say calculate BC, AC, and angle C. Something which is very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen. When they say calculate or find, and they write in capital letters to say BC, always know that this thing, it refers to a length or a side. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen. It's only 2 things that you can calculate when you're given this type of a problem. What are those things? It's a length or a side. That is number 1. Number 2, it's an angle, of which they can say calculate or find or determine an angle and write it as a word as angle, or otherwise they can just say angle B. If it's written like this, it means angle B. What is angle B? In this case, angle B is equals to 90 degrees. Remember, guys, very, very much important. When you are calculating for an angle, make sure to write it in degrees. Don't just say 90. What is 90, guys? We are not sure if this is 90 years. We are not sure if that is 90 whatever, guys. Make sure that you say 90 degrees so that we know that this is an angle. Okay, so in this case, what is angle A? We don't know what is angle A. Seems like we do, guys. Angle A is equals to that one which is 50 degrees. Okay, so the other way to represent angles, they can just do that and say and do that smaller yana cap there, then you know it's angle A, which is 50 degrees. Then angle B is 90 degrees. So that's what we know. In terms of the sides, so I've explained much about angles. Let me quickly explain about the sides. So, for example, a side, we know that side AB. Be careful. When you're calculating a side, it's going to be written in capital letters. That's if they said this is triangle A, B, and C in capital letters. So, side AB is 4 units. That is the side of AB. But in this case, they have specified the units to say it's in centimeters. So that means in triangle ABC, we are dealing with centimeters. In some instances, you might be dealing with millimeters. In some instances, you might be dealing with kilometers. Just be careful of the units which are being used in a particular triangle. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen. So, a side BC is unknown. So when you calculate side BC, if you find it to be 7, make sure to say 7 centimeters. Why? Because the sides are represented in centimeters. Don't just say it's 7. Okay, very, very much important. We are not sure if this is 7 degrees or if this is 7 what is it, 7 Newton. We are not sure if this is 7 pascals, but make sure to tell us that this is 7 centimeters if that is the length. Same for AC. Make sure that it's in centimeters. Guys, let's now solve or answer these questions. They say calculate BC. I'm sure some of you have calculated that length of BC. But remember, you just need to know that BC is a side. Is it an adjacent or is it opposite? This is a question that I'm asking you guys. If it's an opposite, which trig ratio are we using? Are we using tan? Are we using cos? Are we using what is it? Tan, cos, or sine? Which one are we using, guys?
Tan.
Side.
Okay, it's fine. You can mute your mic now. So let me just write all of those to say sine angle. We know it's equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is equals to cos angle. It's equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. And then tan angle is equals to opposite over adjacent. So remember, guys, some of you who did not attend my yesterday's lesson, you might be a bit lost. So don't be surprised when others are getting it correct. It's mostly because they attended my yesterday's lesson. So what I like about Telegram is that I'm able to record these lessons. So just in case if you missed my previous lessons, you can still catch up. So which puts you on a safe side. So don't be stressed that much in case if you know you are not following. So you will understand it better after you use my previous lessons to catch up. So BC is opposite that angle. I hope we are all on the same page on that one. And again, we are given 4 centimeters, which is adjacent to that angle. So if we know we have opposite, which is equals to what is it, BC, and again we have adjacent, which is equals to 4 centimeters. Sorry, between these 3 trig ratios, which trig ratio has opposite and adjacent? That's the
10.
question that you should ask yourself. So
Same.
you guys are saying is tan. So that means we can possibly use tan angle, which is equals to opposite over adjacent. So we know that we've got tan. What is the angle? There is the angle, which is 50 degrees. What is opposite? Our opposite is BC divided by, what is our adjacent? Our adjacent is 4 centimeters. So that means we can cross multiply. Remember, this is the same as over 1. So we just cross multiply. That means we've got 4 tan 50 degrees is equals to BC. So what is a BC, guys? Remember to set your mode to degrees, guys. Lerato said at all times you must make sure that your calculator is in degrees when you're dealing with this chapter. So what are you guys getting? Are we getting the same? What are you guys getting? So 4 tan 50, I'm getting 4.77 centimeters. I'm not sure if you guys are getting the same answer.
I am, sir.
Okay, so someone also got the same answer. So just make sure that when you calculate, you get the same answer. So that means a BC it's equals to 4.77 centimeters. So now let's calculate AC. So the question is, how will you know if the length of your AC is wrong? Because you must be careful when you're dealing with trigonometry, guys. How will you notice if the length of your AC is wrong? Okay, I'll explain to you guys. So, what do you know about AC? We know AC is hypotenuse. What do we know about hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the longest side, which means from A to C is longer than from A to B is longer than from B to C. So if you get an answer which is less than 4 or which is less than 4.77, then you know your calculation is wrong. So make sure that when you calculate AC, you get an answer which is bigger than 4.77. So it is for that reason that if you get an answer which is less than that, then you know you've made a wrong calculation. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, we know the formula which says r squared is equals to x squared plus y squared. This is the theorem of Pythagoras. So, this is just a general formula, guys. But in this case, because we know that our hypotenuse is represented by these letters of A, B, and C, then you can say AC squared, which is that. You can say it's equals to AB squared plus BC squared and just substitute. What are we substituting? What is our AB, guys? Our AB, we know, is 4 centimeters plus our BC. What is our BC? Is 4.77 squared. What are we getting as an answer over there? So let's see. 4 squared plus 4.77 squared, it's equals to, I'm getting 38.7529. So remember, this is AC squared, but you are looking for just AC, which means you are going to introduce a square root on both sides. Be careful of something, guys. I did not round off that answer. Why? Because this is not the final answer. So the final answer is the square root of the whole of that answer. So for those of you who have got this type of a calculator, I can say square root of an answer, it's equals to, then I'm getting 6.23 centimeters. Who else got the same answer? Just mention your name if you got the same answer.
Kevin.
Shreya.
Okay, so it seems like most of you guys got the same answer. So now let's move on to the last question, which says calculate angle C. So can you see how these questions are asked, guys? If it's capital letters, it means the sides. If it's angle, they will say an angle, or otherwise they can just say C and a cap there. So obviously we know that the sum of a triangle, it's equals to what is it, 180. So that means angle A plus angle B plus angle C must be equals to 180 degrees. Be careful, guys. Always when you're dealing with angles, write that degree sign. So what is angle A? We know angle A is 50 degrees plus angle B, we know it's 90, plus angle C, which is what we are calculating. So you can transpose everything, write it to the other side. That means angle C is equals to 180 degrees minus 50 degrees minus 90 degrees. What answer are you getting, guys? So let's see, it's 180 minus 50 minus 90, 100%. So it's 40 degrees. So that means that angle there is 40 degrees. So guys, we won't waste any much of our time. For now, I think what we can do is to move to the second type of a problem. So remember, guys, if you fully understand what we're doing in today's lesson, you won't have any problems as we move on to exam type of questions. So let me just make sure that it's a bit smaller so that we have enough space. So this is A, this is C, this is B, and then this is 3.4 meter, this is 7.2 meter. And the statement says, if that is equals to 90 degrees, then find that and what else? That. So guys, again, I'm going to teach you on how to interpret the given sketch in relation to the question. So remember, guys, what is this? This is a triangle. How many sides do we have in a triangle? We've got 4 sides. What are those 4 sides in this case? It's AC, AB, BC. Those are my three sides. So how many angles do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3 angles. So now, is this a right-angled triangle? For now, if I don't refer to that statement, I'm not sure if it's a right-angled triangle because I don't see where is the 90-degree angle over there. So now, let's get to the statement and the questions. The statement says, if angle C is equals to 90 degrees. Can you see, guys? If angle C is 90 degrees, where is angle C? There's angle A, angle B, there's angle C. So they are saying, if that is 90 degrees, then that means this is a right-angled triangle. So if it's a right-angled triangle, then I know I can use this ratio sine angle is equals to what is it? It's opposite over hypotenuse. I can also use cos angle. It's equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. Can also use tan angle. It's equals to opposite over adjacent. So why am I saying I can use these things, guys? It's because this is a right-angled triangle. That means if it wasn't a right-angled triangle, I wasn't going to use these trig ratios. So now let's continue. The question says find AB. Find that, find that, find that. Can someone explain to us what the question exactly wants us to calculate? Siabonga, go for it. Explain to us what the question exactly wants us to calculate. Anyone else?
I think we need to calculate angle B.
Which angle?
B.
Okay. And then those two, what exactly do they want us to calculate?
Side and angle A.
100%. So let's now calculate. In terms of angle B, which trig ratios can we use? But firstly, you need to be aware of your sides. So the way in which I used to do it, guys, I used to say, now that I'm given this triangle, which one is my adjacent, which one is my opposite? So I know that this one is my hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is always easy for me to identify. How do you see hypotenuse? It is that side which is opposite the 90-degree angle. Then, before we even get to this question, guys, which one is adjacent and which one is opposite?
AC is adjacent. No, it's opposite.
AC is adjacent.
They say BC opposite.
Okay. Let me do this, guys. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm going to hide all of that. And I'm going to write here and say, let's say we've got something similar to that. This is the 90-degree angle. This is A, B, and C. This is 1, 2, 3. So my question to you guys, which side is hypotenuse?
Say BC.
BC is hypotenuse. Guys, which side is adjacent?
AC.
I don't see any adjacent because we are not
AC,
given
sir.
any.
is AC.
Sir,
Okay.
there's no adjacent because we are not given another angle.
Tell them, Sitle. Tell them. Say it again.
There's no adjacent for now because there's no other angle given.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what Sitle is saying is that at this point in time, you cannot tell which side is adjacent and which side is opposite. Why? Because I did not tell if the angle is there or if the angle is there. Does it make sense, guys? You remember we explained this part yesterday to say if you are given a triangle similar to that, you can only tell which side is hypotenuse. You can say, this is hypotenuse. Yes, you are right. This is hypotenuse. Why? Because hypotenuse is opposite to the 90-degree angle. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen. But because I did not say the angle is there, I did not say the angle is there. You cannot say number 2 is adjacent, number 3 is opposite, or you cannot say this is adjacent, this is opposite. Why? Because I did not specify the angle. But the moment I say a angle is there, this is angle theta. Which side is adjacent? Which side is opposite?
AC is opposite and AB is adjacent.
Is it true?
C is opposite. Then AB is adjacent.
The first lady who commented, remember, on Tuesday, let's say Tuesday, sometime during the day, I'm going to post my 2 previous lessons where I teach you exactly how you identify which side is your adjacent and which side is your opposite. I'm sure everyone knows how to identify hypotenuse. But remember, guys, the side which is closer to the 2 angles, it's what we call the adjacent side. And the side which is opposite to that angle is called opposite. So I used to cram these things, guys. I will tell you how to cram these things in case they confuse you. So if you are given, let's say, a triangle similar to that, and this is 90 degrees, and this is angle, let's say this is angle alpha. Obviously, we know this is hypotenuse. Is there someone who disagrees with me when I say this side is hypotenuse?
No, sir.
No.
No.
So I'm going to help you guys to cram this thing. So if you want to know which side is adjacent, can you see this A represents adjacent, even though you know this thing is alpha, which is an angle. But for you to cram, just know that if the angle is there, then it means this is the adjacent side. So that means whatever from there to there is your adjacent side. Then this means it's obvious this is opposite. Do you think that cram work is going to help you guys?
Yeah, I think it's gonna work.
100%. So I hope going forward, if you're given something, let's say something similar to that, let's say there it's 90 degrees, and let's say this is angle alpha, we have A, B, and C. So let's say we have 1, 2, 3. So just unmute your mic and say 1 is whatever, 2 is whatever, 3 is whatever. Then mute your mic. I just want to see if you understood that framework.
So 1 is adjacent and 2 is opposite and 3 is hypotenuse.
3 is hypotenuse, 2 is opposite, 1 is adjacent.
100%. So the two of you got it correctly. I assume everyone now understands. So now let's get to today's problem. So let's see. The question says angle B. So remember, this is what you do. You say this is your hypotenuse. Now, which angle are they talking about? They are talking about angle B. So you can just make an angle there to say this is alpha. If the question is talking about angle B, then it makes this side adjacent. Therefore, this is obvious, is the other name of the side, which is opposite. So now that they want you to calculate angle B, which sides are you given? You are given hypotenuse, which is equals to 7.2 meters. And again, you are given opposite, which is what? 3.4 meter. So between these three trig ratios, which trig ratio has hypotenuse and opposite?
Sensor.
Sine.
So
So it's
Sine.
sine, which means we are going to say sine angle B, it's equals to, we know it's opposite over hypotenuse. So now that you know which trig ratio to use, then I give you this as your homework. In the group, as soon as we are done with today's lesson, just comment what is angle B in the group. So you remember, guys, angle B is whatever degrees. Make sure that if angle B is 7, say 7 degrees. Don't just say 7. So I'm giving you these to finish off as your homework. And again, let's check. Side BC. Let's see. In terms of side BC, where's BC? This is BC. Is there someone who wants to guess in terms of the approach? How can we get side BC?
So I think we can use Pythagoras theorem.
100%. Is using theorem of Pythagoras the only way to find BC?
No, sir. So since earlier they said we must calculate angle B, we can use angle B to find, B and C to find A, and then when we have A, we can use the trig ratios to find BC.
Okay, 100%. So let's say, I hope everyone understands that part. Let's say that angle there is 7 centimeter. So firstly, you can use trig ratio. You need to be able to formulate firstly, we can use theorem of Pythagoras, as she said. So firstly, you can formulate, remember, this is AB. So we've got AB squared, which is equals to, which one is your side? We have that side and that side. So we have AC squared plus BC squared. You can now substitute to say, what is your AB? You know your AB 7.2, then you squared. What is AC, guys? AC is 3.4 squared. What is BC? BC is what you're calculating. So you transpose, then you say square root of everything is going to be equals to BC. On your final answer, guys, if they did not specify to say correct to 1 decimal place, correct to 2 decimal place, correct to 3 decimal place, if they did not specify, then round it off, correct to 2 decimal places. So this is the first approach that you can use to solve that. And then the second approach, because you know, let's say for example your angle was 7 degrees, there you have 90, you have 3.4, you have 7.2. You can use many methods in this case in order to calculate B and C. You know B and C is an adjacent, so you can use that trig ratio that has adjacent and either hypotenuse or opposite. So let's see, that means you can still use cos because it has adjacent and again hypotenuse. You can still use a sine because it has opposite and again it has hypotenuse. The question is, can you use tan? Let's see. It seems like you can still use tan because you've got opposite, you are looking for adjacent, and you have an angle which is 7 degrees. Does it make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. So if that is the case, guys, let's now do the last example. From there, we'll see if we still have a chance to go through today's lesson. So, guys, if you do not understand what we are doing today and you don't catch up, you are going to face challenges as we go deeper. And I'm telling you guys, this is the most difficult part. When we get to some more deeper stuff, you will understand better if you don't have problems with what we are doing today. So the reason why I'm bringing these questions is so that you explore all the tricks related to trigonometry in terms of how the information is being given, how do they ask questions, and so on. So remember, you can write as I'm writing, otherwise you can just make sure that you watch and listen and catch up at a later stage. So let's say length of hypotenuse. Okay, so again, for the last time, I'm going to teach you on how to interpret the given diagram and the questions. So this is a triangle, guys. We've got 3 sides, and we know from those 3 sides, we must have opposite, we must have hypotenuse, we must have a adjacent. Why are we going to have these 3 sides? Is because already we know this is a right angled triangle. For it to be right angled triangle, it means we are going to have 3 sides which has the names of opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. So here comes the question. Which one is hypotenuse? Obviously, we know this side is hypotenuse. Why? Because it's opposite 90-degree angle. How did we cram the adjacent side? Remember, this is that alpha angle. So that alpha means adjacent, which means this side, which is opposite to 90-degree angle, is our adjacent side. Okay, so which side is this one? Obviously, is going to be opposite. So I hope everyone is happy with that information and you will never ever forget which side is which side. So remember, guys, remember, I'm going to explain this one again for the last time. If you are given this thing, and they say this is A, this is B, this is C. This is a triangle, ladies and gentlemen. This is a triangle. So before I even explain, here comes the question. Which side is hypotenuse? Between 1, 2, and 3. Which side is hypotenuse?
None of the sides, since there's no right, since there's no 90 degrees.
Shreyas, 100%. Shreyas, 100%. So I'll just continue from what Shreyas has said and not let everyone keep on guessing. I know some of you, you also know that there's no hypotenuse. Guys, there's no hypotenuse here. Why? Because we don't know if this thing is a right-angled triangle. So for you to say this is or maybe for you to say this side is hypotenuse, you must be sure that on this triangle, you know exactly where is the right-angled triangle. So now I'm putting my right-angled triangle there. So here comes the question. Which side is hypotenuse?
BC.
BC, sir.
C, sir.
100%. So which side is adjacent?
AB.
There is no angle.
There is no angle,
Sir,
sir.
So
sir,
someone
there's no
said
adjacent.
AB. Someone said AB. I'm not sure if it's because they recently joined the lesson. So if that is the case, for you who said AB, AB is not adjacent. AC is not adjacent. At this point in time, you can only tell that BC is hypotenuse. So this is now what I'm going to do. We've got theta, we've got beta. Guys, which side is opposite?
AB.
Sir,
AB,
at
sir.
this point, I think we have two opposite sides.
Guys, you must listen. You must listen to Sitle, guys. Sitle, what are you saying?
At this point, I think we have two opposite sides.
Ladies and gentlemen, be very, very careful. So Sitle is making a very good point. He's saying at this point in time, we have two opposite sides. He's 100%, guys. The other one can say, say opposite for which angle? Because now we've got two angles. If we have two angles, this side is an opposite side to this angle. That means this side will be adjacent to this angle. And again, Sitley said we have two opposite sides. So that means this is the opposite side to this angle. And again, this is going to be adjacent side to that same angle. So I expected you guys to say either we've got two opposite sides, or you asked me which side is opposite for which angle or opposite to which angle. That's what you must say, guys. It's only when you are given one angle, then you will know which side is which. But if you are given two angles, it means you have two opposite sides. When I say two angles, I'm referring to those two angles there. Forget about that one, because this one, it actually tells us this is a right angled triangle. So guys, do you now remember, or does it make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So can you see, guys, it's not that these things are difficult. You just need to practice more and more. That is the reason why I record these lessons. And the reason to that is because I know it's easy to forget. It has been happening to everyone. It's still happening to almost everyone. So if you catch up, that's when you'll be able to, you know, remember these things. So I'm going to put my right angled triangle over there and say this is a triangle. And because I've got a 90-degree angle, it means it's a right angled triangle. So if it's a right angled triangle, it means I can have or assign those sides these sides names. Obviously, I know the one which is opposite to the 90-degree angle is my hypotenuse. So at this point in time, I cannot tell if BC or AC is adjacent or which one is opposite. So if I ask you a question in the future to say which side is adjacent, ask me this question: adjacent to which angle? So that means I must tell you which angle I'm referring to, or just say put an angle on the drawing. So I can just say angle A. Then you must know you have alpha there, or I can just say angle C. Then you know I have alpha there. Then you will know which side is adjacent, and the other one is going to be obvious. Here comes the question, guys: which side is opposite and which side is adjacent?
Say there's no opposite side because we are not given an angle that it can be opposite to.
So I hope you guys got that information. But the moment I say, let's say we have alpha there, then which side is opposite?
AB is
AB.
opposite.
100%, 100%, 100%. I'm very much happy, guys, that you got straight to the point. So if you can understand that part, I'm telling you guys, we are going to have nice upcoming lessons. So now let's answer the question. So they're saying in triangle PQR, you need to be able to interpret the given statement, guys. The moment they say that, they're referring to a triangle. Which triangle? Triangle PQR. So they're saying in that triangle, tan theta is equals to 5 over 12. So this statement alone, what does it mean, guys? Is there someone who wants to give it a guess?
Say that our opposite is 5 and our adjacent is 12.
Do you guys agree with that statement?
Yes.
Okay, if that is the case, then let's write that information. So according to Sitler, he's saying opposite is 5, 12 is adjacent. So that means this is the opposite side, which is going to be 5 units. And this is the adjacent side, which is going to be 12 units. So this is the first thing that you need to do, guys. This is the first thing that you need to do. Let me show you how examiners are going to be tricky on this question. Let me show you something examiners are most likely to do. Let's say we've got A, B, and C. So I'm just trying to teach you on how to catch examiners trying to be tricky, guys. I know these tricks very well. So let's say we've got beta there, we've got theta there. And again, they say in triangle ABC, and they say cos beta is equals to 2 over 7. According to this statement, guys, what does it mean?
Say that our AB is let me see, 2. AB is 2. And our hypotenuse is 7.
Which one is hypotenuse?
If I'm not mistaken, it's AC.
What is it?
AC, sir, if I'm not mistaken.
AC there. Do you guys agree with that information?
Yes.
Remember, guys, it's either you agree or you don't agree. And again, in case if you need explanation, just say, please explain. Then, again, they say in triangle that it's equals to 1 over, let's say maybe 1 over 7. What does it mean according to that statement?
It means that our
BC is 1 over hypotenuse, which is 7.
Okay, Slindile, go for it. Give your explanation as well.
It means that our BC is 1 and then our AC is 7.
Do you guys agree with that statement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. So what I wanted you guys to be aware is that you can still be given 2 angles and ask questions based on those 2 angles. So you just need to be aware that this is 2 in 1 triangle. So you've got 2 triangles of which you can separate where one you've got angle there, and you still have the same triangle where theta is there. You've got A, B, C. Then you just need to know that for this triangle, this is your adjacent, hypotenuse, opposite. For this triangle, this is your adjacent, hypotenuse, opposite. So 1 and 2 is represented in that triangle. So this is 2 in 1. So just be careful of that, guys. So now let's now answer the questions. So they say find angle theta. So what are we given, guys? It seems like we are given opposite, which is equals to what? 5 units. We are given also a adjacent, which is equals to what? Is 12 units. So what is it that the question wants us to calculate? Is to find angle theta. So from those 3 trig ratios, which trig ratio has opposite and adjacent?
Tan.
It's tan, which means tan angle is equals to what is it? Opposite. What is our opposite, guys? Opposite is 5. This is 12. So obviously for you to find the angle, I'm sure everyone knows what we call second function. So what is that angle? Remember, your calculator has to be in degrees for you to get a correct answer. Otherwise, you won't get the correct answer. So guys, what is tan angle of 15? A second function of tan 5 over 12. What is that?
It's 22,61.
22,62 Shreya's degrees. Is there someone who agrees with that answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. So Is that a question? Is there someone who wants to ask a question? Okay, so that is the answer to that question. So now find cos angle. How can we calculate that one, guys?
So I think as for cos, we need to look at our adjacent side and the hypotenuse side. Oh, we
So,
can use, I think we can use the angle theta because we're given theta, but I'm not sure how.
okay, so
Let me give others a chance because I'm not sure.
someone to continue with that attempt.
Yes. We can say cos 22.62 degrees is equals to over 1. Over 1, say.
Over 1 like that.
Yes. Is equals to 12 over PR. Yes, sir. Then you're gonna do your cross multiplication.
Okay, so that means I'm going to say that 22.62 degrees is equals to 12.
Yes, sir.
Then from there, is it done?
Sir, I made some mistake. I'm trying to see.
You're trying to see, ne? Okay,
Yes.
then it's fine. Let's just have a look at this question, guys. It's a bit tricky in a sense that they just say cos angle. So what you need to do, guys, is just to say a cos angle. What is that angle? We know exactly what is that angle is 22.62 degrees. So you just punch this on your calculator. Whatever that you get is cos angle. That's what the question wants you to calculate. It's as easy as that. So cos, what is it? 22.62 close is equals to 0.92. 0.92. So this is cos angle, guys. This is cos angle. I think the other way in which you can do it, let's check cos angle. It must be equals to, we know cos angle, cos is what? Is adjacent over hypotenuse. So what is adjacent? Obviously, we know adjacent is 12. What is hypotenuse? So we don't know what is hypotenuse. So that means at this point in time, this is the method that you can use to calculate cos angle. Because if you knew what was your hypotenuse, then you were going to just say 12 over whatever number, then it gives you an answer. That answer must be the same as 0.92. So don't confuse yourself, guys, and maybe think questions will be asked in the same way, where they just want you to calculate either the angle or the sine. Just be sure that you understand what the question wants you to calculate. For example, they could have said a sine angle. If they said find sine angle, you just substitute the angle that you know, 22.6 that degrees. You punch it on a calculator, you get an answer. That's it. And remember, sine that angle. It's not an angle, and again, it's not a side. It's just a number. So you just write it as a number. So I'm not sure if that makes sense, guys. Okay, so they say the length of hypotenuse. How can we find the length of hypotenuse?
By using Pythagoras theorem, because we have the other two sides.
100%, which means PR squared is equals to P, what is it? Let's say QR, because it's very, very much important that you are able to formulate that theorem of Pythagoras using those letters. So PR is the hypotenuse. Is equals to opposite being PQ squared plus that which is QR squared. Therefore, you know what is that? What is PQ, guys? PQ we know is 5 squared plus what is QR? We know is 12 squared. This is equals to what is that, guys? Let's punch that on a calculator. So it's 5 squared plus 12 squared.
69.
169. So 169 is equals to pi r squared. So we introduce a squared on both sides. Then we know our PR is equals to, what is that? What is square root of an answer? Is 13. So that means is 13 units. So in case if it's just given a number, they don't say centimeters, is millimeters, or is kilometers, you can just write it as 13, or you can just say 13 units. So this is to show, when you say units, is to show that this is not an angle, it's actually a side. So that unit, it doesn't matter whether it's millimeters, centimeters, or kilometers, or whatever. So it shows that you come from good hands, you fully understand exactly what you are doing. So ladies and gentlemen, this should bring us to our lesson for today. I wish to have another lesson sometime after a few hours where I introduce you to an extension of this chapter. So what we're doing today, it was just a revision of what I taught you on our previous 2 lessons in a form of solving related questions. So what I want to prepare you guys for the next lesson, it's where, I'm not sure if you remember this type of questions. You might find that you haven't done them before, but that's where you're getting. For example, let's say on a Cartesian plane, you are given maybe something similar to that. Let's say this is 3 and 7. This is y-axis, this is x-axis. And then from there, they just say maybe find, let's see, they say find cos 13 degrees plus tan 17 degrees. I think this is how they used to ask those questions. I'm just not really sure in terms of how those questions are asked. Let me just quickly check. But before, I'll just confirm quickly how those type of questions are asked. But for now, is there someone who's got a question in relation to what we have done today?
No, sir.
Guys, is it everyone who's satisfied with today's lesson?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. So these are the type of problems which I'm talking about. So I'm hoping we can also have this lesson sometime today. It's either after 2 or 3 hours, preferably, let's say around 4 or 5. But let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about. It's going to be a very quick lesson, preferably a 30 minutes lesson. Let's say we've got P, we've got that, which is 3. So now I'm going deeper into questions which will be asked in exams. That's what I want to make sure that we move as fast as possible to those type of problems. So in this case, they can say calculate OP. OP obviously is from there to there. The second question they can say calculate tan. Okay, the first one they said calculate OP. The second one they say tan angle A, and then the third one there is A. The third one they say what is it, cos angle A, and then question number 4 they may say sine squared A minus cos squared A. This type of questions, guys, they are very, very easy. Easy, 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 easy. Easy, 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 easy. So if you understood the lesson that we did, you won't struggle in understanding these questions. And these questions, they will be there in your exams and you will score maximum marks on these questions. So just make sure that you don't miss my next lesson. So guys, this brings us to the end of our lesson for today, and I hope you enjoyed today's lesson as much as I did. So, guys, based on that homework that I gave to you, make sure to comment not in the group but via inbox so that I know if you guys are getting different answers. Because otherwise, if you comment in the group, I just noticed some of you they do what we call a copy and paste, and I know very well that you are good at that. So, guys, this brings us to the end of our lesson for today, and thanks very much for joining. I will see you on our next lesson. So I'm going to make an announcement in the group. For now, goodbye, guys.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.